the NFL is still king. We're gonna kick this show off with a little bit of an NFL preseason. We're halfway through. Like, we're about done with week 2. We got one game going on tomorrow, but for the most part, everybody's all said and done for week 2 of the preseason. And this is a fun time to really get into those early predictions. Surely the sports books have opened themselves up to that. So first and foremost, we are going to kick the show off with what Vegas thinks, what the sports books think, and try to line that with what we think is going to go happen. So we came up with this beautiful graphic for you to kind of lay out what the stage is. As you can see, AFC on the left, NFC on the right, Super Bowl, conference division, over-unders. It's obviously only the top 8. We'll extend it to the top 10 as far as our notes say, and we'll get into it. But Gerardo, what's the first thing that kind of sticks out to you?
Kind of the disrespect of the Kansas City Chiefs, honestly. You know, the fact that they have gone to the Super Bowl, been successful in the Super Bowl as many times as they had. Patrick Mahomes is still good. Andy Reid is still coaching. And they are the 3rd best favorites on the AFC side of things. Like, I understand the moves that the Ravens and Bills have made, but like, they're playing catch up to the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, that's the one thing that I'm just like still surprised. Like, until it's like, you know, Tom Brady and the Patriots, like, until Tom Brady is not on the Patriots, I am not going to count out the Patriots. So until Patrick Mahomes is not Patrick Mahomes, I am not counting out the Kansas City Chiefs. So I thought that was a bit interesting that they are only the 3rd best favorites in the AFC. And I also think like the AFC has a little bit like, there's more parity in the middle of the AFC, not at the top of the AFC. Like, I do think Kansas City is still king. I think they're the best team in the AFC, but I think like in the middle of the pack, there's a lot of teams that I believe can win 10 games, have the ability to win 10 games. But I do not know, like, plausibly, like, that cannot happen. Like, I think Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers, I think, are 10-win teams. The only problem is that like they all have to play each other. So that means some of them may not, like, they may lose a game here or there. And not only that, I mean, like the Bills, like, there's been too many times where the Bills and Ravens have faced against the Chiefs, and I've seen Patrick Mahomes be the one that comes up on top. The only team I think who could beat the Chiefs is because of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has consistently proved that he can beat the Chiefs, but the problem with the Bengals is the fact that they have no defense. And Trey Henderson, whatever holdout that dude was trying to do, and then he came back anyway. Like, that team, even if he came back or didn't come back, like, that team still has a good bit of issues defensively to keep up with the rest of the league. Like, I think they can hang with Kansas City, but like, they won't be able to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson when it comes to running the ball. And also, like, same thing with the Bills. The Bills have a really good rushing attack too. Like, a lot of people are counting them out with Cook.
James Cook just got a big extension.
Cook has a new. I mean, Allen too is also slept on. You know, dual threat action wise as well too. But at the end of the day, I still think it's Kansas City on the AFC.
Yeah, like, I think at the top of the cream of the crop as far as the AFC versus the NFC goes, the AFC has just bigger heavyweights. Baltimore is always going to be feisty. Josh Allen's always going to be feisty with the Bills. Kansas City, obviously, you give them the benefit of the doubt all the time. The Bengals might have like the most passing yards in NFL history by the end of this season.
Oh yeah,
because that defense is so horrible.
Like, they could put up 50 points a week if they, like, legitimately, because they have a great offense. But at the end of the day, I think too many teams are trying to keep up with Kansas City in scoring points, but the main objective should be to stopping Kansas City. The best way to beat Kansas City is to make sure Patrick Mahomes sits on the sideline, not on the field, and giving him opportunities to score. And that's why I think, like, there's a reason why the Eagles are the overall favorites, because they really did a good job on making sure Patrick Mahomes sat on the bench the whole time. And there is no doubt that I think the Eagles are the top in not only their division. Yeah, the Commanders are very much like Jaden Daniels, but I also think that maybe, like, I still believe Terry McLaurin is still holding out on his deal.
Yep.
And on top of that, like, I always give a benefit of the doubt on rookies like Jaden. And same thing with like RG3. RG3 exploded. RG3 was, I believe, way better looking than Andrew Luck his rookie year. And that's because a lot of teams could not figure him out. And I think that now that people have game tape on you, they're probably going to find out your tendencies. And I think a little bit of a regression with Washington. And I think the Eagles are probably going to dominate their division. I mean, the Giants aren't going in nowhere anytime soon. The Giants also have a really rough schedule. They play back-to-back away games, and then they also play, like, I think the Chiefs and Chargers. So the Giants are going to be 0-4 to start the year, possibly. And I just think the Eagles did nothing but get better, and they still have all their main pieces. So I fully believe that it's the Eagles. I do think maybe the Lions can step up a bit as well this year. But
here's my thing with the Lions. We have them there. Them having the second best odds in the NFC. I think one team is missing from this graphic. They made the top 10. There are two teams that are missing from this graphic that I just couldn't fit in because we need the logos to be big enough for you all to see them. It was the Green Bay Packers and the team I'm talking about, the Los Angeles Rams. Mm-hmm. The Los Angeles Rams, I believe, should be the second best team in the NFC.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford is still as good as ever, even if he's kind of like taking this back injury that he's had all camp week by week, really slow. But they just got Devontae Adams, who isn't washed up by any means.
No.
Puka Nacua is still very, very good. That rushing attack is still awesome with Kyren Williams. And with two solid backups behind him, Blake Corum at Michigan, real productive, now in a RB2 kind of role to help keep the usage off Kyren because he has had injury issues in the past. And that defense is only getting better. Like what they got Braden Fisk and Jared Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Like unbelievable stuff. I think that team should be head and shoulders. Not head and shoulders, maybe is a little strong, but I think that they're the second best team in the NFC, assuming that Matthew Stafford can play. Assuming that if he can't, they obviously have my boy Jimmy Garoppolo there as a backup. I don't know if I would be pushing that narrative if Stafford wasn't going to play, but I do think that people are kind of sleeping on the Rams here to be a major player in this NFC playoff picture. They almost beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship game last year, and people kind of forget about that. Yeah. Or not the NFC Championship. Was it divisional round because the Commanders went?
Yes.
Yeah. Divisional round. In the snow. Remember that? Like the Rams took it to them.
The thing is about that, like I'm on the opposite end of the Rams. I'm a little bit more pessimistic when it comes to them because for the longest, Sean McVay has been flirting with retirement. They just got Cooper Kupp just moved on, but granted, maybe a lateral move getting Devontae Adams to replace him.
Oh, I don't think it's a lateral move at all.
But I still like eventually you see with these quarterbacks, that arm is going to give. And I think that Matthew Stafford, like we are right about to be there. Like Peyton Manning threw for 5,000 yards before that arm could not throw a ball anymore. Like it was, when are we going to see that drastic fall off? Because it's never going to be pretty. The only quarterback that I've ever seen gracefully keep throwing for yards and then retire while he was still on top, like, and be able to perform was Tom Brady. And I think that's just...
Even Tom Brady's last year, you could tell he was sick of getting hit.
Oh, yeah. And I think that eventually with Matthew Stafford, because here's the thing also with Matthew Stafford is when he was with those early Lions teams, he was getting hit. Like he was getting like destroyed. And in that against the Vikings, against even the Bears when they were relevant then, and same thing with the Packers, like he was still getting beat up a lot. And I think eventually that's going to wear and tear. I mean, like, what is it that he has like his whole Airstream like trailer that he has outside of training camp for his like to heal his back that he's going through right now. Like, I just think that Father Time is undefeated and it's about time that the Rams, because I thought, and I'm a put myself out there that I think like maybe about a year ago, 2 years ago, I thought Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, and what was it? The left tackle, Andre Whitworth, and their head coach were all going to retire at once. Like, I thought that was going to be like, hey, we got a Super Bowl ring. Let's get out while we're on top. That's it. Like, we brought a championship to LA. But I'm a little bit more skeptical on that because, as you know, like 2 to 4 teams don't repeat again in the playoffs. And the whole list is Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, Bucks, Rams, Vikings, Commanders, Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chargers, Steelers, and Broncos.
In the NFC, the Rams and the Vikings are the teams you look at for sure.
Yes, 100 exactly, and that's kind of the big reason why I don't believe in it, is because I think a lot more teams gotten better in their respective divisions, and or they're missing a piece. Like, we're going from Sam Darnold to essentially a rookie quarterback for the Vikings, who, like, we have yet to see real significant playing time even in preseason for these last 2 years. And he's coming back from an injury, and we do not know how he's going to perform after that injury. And on top of that, I wrote Rams, Vikings. The other ones were Broncos, Chargers, and Steelers. Now, the Chargers and Broncos are good teams. The thing is that if you're a whole bunch of good teams in the same division, like the Raiders got significantly better. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. The Broncos are also a good team, and so are the Chargers. So that means somebody has to lose. And if you're too busy beating up all each other and all of y'all end up 9-8 and the Chiefs are like 13-4, what does that mean? Like a team like the Texans, who are going to be like a double-digit team because their division is really bad, or like a team like the Steelers, who is also in a relatively tough division, the Bengals, and as well as the Ravens, like they could all be 10-win teams, but that means somebody's losing somewhere else. And I just think
the Patriots are in a position to really take advantage of that as well.
Oh yes, like I think also like that's what I'm saying. Like that means 2 to 4 new teams are going to make it to the playoffs this year that we would have not expected. And I think the Patriots, probably bar none, has had the best offseason on the AFC side of things.
It rings very true to what the Commanders did last year, getting in a bunch of veteran talent just to raise the floor. And then you go get who I thought was the best coach on the market in Mike Vrabel. A lot of people will say, we'll push back and say Ben Johnson. We've seen Vrabel really do it at the highest level before. I think
he's been immensely successful in everywhere he has gone. When he was a defensive coordinator for the Texans, when he was with the Titans,
linebackers coach at Ohio State,
exactly,
consultant with Cleveland.
Yeah, like lineman. Exactly. So I think that's where like you could see a team like the Patriots make a huge jump, and they will.
That and the Dolphins, I think, are going to be competing for the number 1 overall pick coming this year. And then the Jets, who you could just throw anything at the Jets and they're not going to figure it out. You got Aaron Rodgers. They couldn't figure it out. They had, a real Cinderella year with Fitzpatrick and Todd Bowles. Couldn't figure it out beyond that. They got Sam Darnold and Aaron Glenn, who was supposed to be a top offensive mind at the time. Co-signed by Peyton Manning himself. Couldn't figure it out.
Not Aaron Glenn, but was Adam Gase.
Adam Gase, I apologize.
Yeah. Aaron Glenn is who they have now, but yes, but it's until proven otherwise, I'm not going to believe in the Jets. I don't like, and also on top of that, like the Steelers made Justin Fields look a whole lot better than he actually is. And you're telling me that he is going to go to
a 2-year, $40 million contract with the aforementioned Jets.
Exactly. Like you are telling me that he is going to somehow like go to a team that's significantly worse in a division where, like, I mean, technically the team he just came for was a little bit more tougher overall wise, but like at the same time too, like I don't see how the Jets are making that big of a turnaround or making that big of an impact. They're going to be picking probably within the bottom half of the league. They're going to probably be a top 10 pick team. And then same thing with like the other parts of the AFC. Like the Texans should win their division by default. Like all the rest of the Jaguars still haven't figured anything out with Trevor Lawrence yet. He's immensely talented, but like he's either getting hurt or he's too inconsistent. And then also the coaching that he's had and that in that whole locker room has been unbelievably bad.
I don't believe it's getting all that much better with the new guy.
Exactly. Like it's like granted the Bucs had a really great offense, and like to credit to Cohen, like he helped with Baker Mayfield, but also that Baker Mayfield, the Bucs barely snuck into the playoffs last year. And I do think the Bucs are probably the favorite in the NFC South. That is to me the weakest division overall in the NFL.
Ooh, I don't know.
The Saints are probably fighting for the number 1 overall pick. The Panthers look unbelievably bad still, and then the Falcons are like okay, Michael Penix is going to be the starting quarterback, but like, and like, it's not like maybe they win 8 games with that. I just don't see how. Like, I think the Falcons have a lot of talent on offense, but I just still think that like we are putting a lot of investment into a quote unquote like kind of a rookie quarterback as well too. Like they're in the same situation. The Falcons are just the Vikings of the NFC South. Like they are with a different type of quarterback that we fully haven't really seen. Like yes, we've seen flashes of Michael Penix, but like we haven't had a full rapport with what he is now with the Falcons and what they're going to go do with like that is their quarterback for the whole year.
Yep.
And on top of that, you have Kirk Cousins right behind you. So that means if Michael Penix throws a 5 interception game, what's going to happen? They will go, Kirk, put on your helmet. Go play for all the money we
Kirk
paid
might
for.
give him the old Jimmy G, F you, I'm not coming out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, but at the same time, too, like you're just going to eat bullets with a left-handed quarterback. Like statistically speaking, that most left-handed quarterbacks have never been that successful in the NFL. Like, I just don't think not a big of a believer. It all comes down to the quarterback position in the whole NFC South. There's only one good one, and that's Baker Mayfield. And so that's why I would rather put all my eggs in the Bucks basket than the Panthers. I just like God Almighty. Like
I tend to agree that the Bucks should probably be a good distance between the rest of them, but I think in the AFC South, the floor is just so much worse than the other guys.
Yeah. The Texans should cakewalk to 10 wins.
That's what I mean. Like I don't think the NFC South is the worst division. I think the AFC South is.
I would say they probably have a worse floor, but I think the NFC South also has the worst future. Like, I don't think like they don't even have like what's going to happen. Like you're hoping the Saints get the number 1 overall pick and get Arch Manning, who may stay in college football. Like and also like Bryce Young has showed nobody anything yet. And then the only constituent in his draft class that isn't tapping out of a football game is CJ Stroud, who had a bad year last year. So I think, yes, I would agree with you that the Texans also got significantly better. They have a really good defense, they have a really good head coach, and they supposedly fixed their offensive woes. I mean, the loss of Stephon Diggs is a big one, but at the same time, they did get a Christian Kirk. I think he's going to fit.
I think that's pretty much. I don't want to say a lateral move because I still think Diggs has something to give. But
Diggs is a true number 1. Kirk isn't, but they already have the true number 1 in Nico.
Yeah, like so it just slides right in because Diggs as a wide receiver 2, because he's capped being a wide receiver 2 behind Nico Collins. I think you're going to get very similar production out of those guys in that same spot. Now Diggs in New England, assuming he's ready to go week 1, should be that number 1 target and still produce low end wide receiver 1 production because he is older, coming off an ACL tear. If you're expecting him to be the Diggs of Buffalo, I think you're kind of out to lunch. But
yeah, you're not going to get that 1,500-yard season out of him like that. Or you maybe get double-digit touchdowns out of him.
Yeah,
but like the true top 5, top 10 wide receiver that he was in Buffalo and at the end of the Vikings, I don't know about that. But no. I do think like the AFC South, like you have no idea, like Anthony Richardson, the Colts situation. I don't understand what's going on.
A lot of people hate Cam Ward, like as a prospect.
Yeah, that too. And also he's a rookie, and he also has a rookie head coach as well. I believe so, right? Second year head coach. Like it's, there's also that stat about like when a coach drafts a quarterback, they only last 1.5 years in the NFL, and like. You already had a bad first year. You picked number 1 overall, and now you got Cam Ward to you only got you have to show something.
Cam Ward and Calvin Ridley is what the offense's hopes are lying with.
And then what's it, Pollard? They're running back.
Pollard and what's his name, Spears.
But then and then also another rookie quarterback, weird quarterback room situation like the Giants. Like, what is going on over there? Like, I would rather. Jackson Dark is immensely talented. Then you traded for Russell Wilson, but what's his face? Their head coach Brian Daboll's on year 5, and then he's gonna have a losing record, probably again. And then he's gonna what argument are you bringing to your owner's table? Hey, I have a rookie quarterback. I'm gonna win with him. And then they're gonna be like, no, dude, we got you.
Well, the Giants have been pretty passive with their coaches over the years. Like they don't don't like firing these guys. They don't. They wait.
I would like the Giants. I would hope that they would fire Brian Daboll next year, at the end of next year. The New York media is going to chew him up so bad after these first 4 games.
And the GM shown.
Oh yeah, I mean, one, that the Hard Knocks episode did not do them any good when they traded Saquon Barkley to their rival, and then the hands of winning a Super Bowl. But the issue that I think that they're going to run into is the first 4 games they're going to be 0-4. Like, they're going against, I believe it's Dallas, and I believe it's the Commanders, and then after that is, I know it's Kansas City and the Chargers at home. Yeah, like you're going against the first 4 games are teams that are like Super Bowl bound. Like that is immensely tough for them, and for that New York media to start 0-4, and you traded for Russell Wilson because you know he's going to be the starter all 4 of those games. And that
would explain why the Giants are plus 3,000 to win the NFC East.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then, I mean, also on top of that too, like they may split a game with Dallas. That is their best chance. I don't think that they're beating the Commanders home or away. I don't think they're beating the Eagles home or away. So at best, you won 1 game in your division.
Can't have it.
Yeah. So I think the Giants are really like very unfortunate for they're going to have a really bad start. The New York media is going to destroy them. But I think the only saving grace for them is if somehow Russell Wilson got injured on the first game and they have to go with Jackson Dart. And they're like, hey, at least Jackson Dart looks good, but we're 0-4. Then because that's something that he can at least present to the owner and the GM with, is the fact that, hey, I may have gone 2-2 with Russell Wilson. Like, but I do think that they did draft really well. I think they have like one of the better drafts, Jackson Dart and Abdul Carter. Like, I think they did really well. They have a really good future, and then Malik Neighbors as well too.
Just need the right captain to steer the ship.
Exactly. And I mean, like, Brian Daboll is a good coach. I mean, he won 9 games with Daniel Jones. Like, something I don't think the Colts are going to be able to do this year. And like that, like, same with them, like the AFC South is just that bad. And also the fact that you have a competition between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones as a starting quarterbacks situation. And I think Daniel Jones is probably going to play himself really good this year. Like, for Daniel Jones, he's going to play good.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be like a 7-10 year for them. And then, like, what are you doing? Okay, Daniel Jones was the best quarterback this year, but like, we use all this draft capital to draft Anthony Richardson. Like, now we're in the middle of the draft class, in a very top quarterback heavy class projected. That could all change. And like, I don't see how the Colts future going wise. I don't see how the Jaguars. I mean, like, Trevor Lawrence has 2 great weapons in Brian Thomas and in Hunter, but like, it's still the Jaguars. Like, no offense, but haven't.
Nobody's really considering the South for much.
No, and opposite of like the AFC West, where it's like the Raiders
3
got
playoff teams, maybe 4. Yeah.
Like, the Raiders got significant bit. The Broncos really surprised everybody last year. Same with Bo Nix. Bo Nix really surprised everybody. Their defense is unbelievably good. It's still going to be consistent and good over there. The Chargers, I mean, it's Jim Harbaugh. A Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh led team is very, very disciplined and very good. You're going to count on them winning 10 games. It's also Justin Herbert, and it's the Chiefs. So that's why I think, like, you have a whole lot of teams beating up on each other throughout the AFC, especially when it comes to the AFC West, and then the AFC, is it the North? Or the AFC North with the Pittsburgh Steelers and like all of them. Like, I think that they're just going to be, you can't have 2 divisions with 3 10-win teams. Like, that's not going to happen. And then on top of that, they're going to beat each other up in the playoffs, because the Chiefs are more than likely going to get the number 1 overall seed. But I'm also with you on like the opposite end, like the Browns, the Miami Dolphins, I think, are really close to imploding. And as well as like the Jaguars. I mean, Titans are still, they were the worst team in the NFL last year. And like, Cam Ward is not that big of a win gap percentage. Like, and no offense to Cam Ward, is Cam Ward a good quarterback? Yes, but he wasn't this generational like Andrew Luck number one overall pick.
Yeah, he might have been the 5th or 6th quarterback taken last year.
Oh yeah. And so, but that's how I feel about the AFC. The NFC wise, I do think there's a little bit more like
it's the Eagles, and we'll see who can give them a fight come the end of the year.
Yeah, and I mean, arguably the thing is that it's the Eagles' Super Bowl to lose. It's because the way that they beat the Chiefs, the way that they like dismantled certain teams throughout the year, and of course, like they're going to lose a game in throughout the season. They have, and then the media is going to get on them and saying that they don't know how to coach, like they did this past year. And then next thing you know, they're like dropping a 50 burger, and Patrick Mahomes cannot even throw 2 touchdowns in a Super Bowl. And he's throwing more interceptions than he has touchdowns. Like, it's the Eagles to lose. They got significant. They're continuing to get better. They get Eagle players that fit their mold, and so I like them. I also like the Commanders. If Jaden Daniels continues to make progress, Dan Quinn is a good coach. He's a great defensive coach. I think he also knows how to. I think he has good team chemistry, especially like from all reports coming from Commanders camp and stuff like that. But the only thing that you worry about is the fact that it is his second season in the NFL, and you're going to get figured out. Like you're going to have a flash in a pan your rookie year, but then now that people got tape on you and they know your tendencies, then they're going to find out who your go-to receiver is. And then if Terry McLaurin doesn't get back into camp and start catching passes, like that's also going to be a hindrance to him. And so I think I'm also with on the Lions. In fact, Dan Campbell led team I know is going to fight to the very end. They just need to finish games. That is just a little when they're going against good teams. They just need to know how to finish because what was it?
And I think that their football X's and O's took a huge blow this offseason, losing both their coordinators.
Yeah, they lost both coordinators,
and then whatever coaches they took on the way out.
And then I mean, like
it's a lot. It's a lot to ask.
Yeah, because in the like final point about the Lions, like they lost both their coordinators. Like that could be a tall task, and we could find out that maybe Dan Campbell is only as good as his coordinators, and he can't. And then on top of that, the Lions end up being the team that doesn't make it to the playoffs. Like that could be a reasonable thing as well to think. Is it likely? Sure. Is it highly likely? No, I don't think so.
All right. So to wrap up this NFL futures bet, because we have a couple of things that we want to get into.
Right.
I'll throw the graphic up, but feel free not to use it. What are some of your favorite bets you see on screen? What are some of the bets you like off screen? And then we can move on to the next topic.
To win the division for the Lions is plus 145.
Plus money to win that division with a lot of questions on the rest of the table. I like that bet a lot too.
Yeah, I would go with that one. I like that one because like the Bears aren't getting much better. I mean, the Packers are kind of like stagnating, like they're in that 10 win like area, and then the Vikings, they're running out with a rookie quarterback that essentially rookie quarterback. So I don't think that's not a bad bet to do. I mean, San Francisco, I mean,
the Texans are also plus money to win their division right now, plus 100.
Oh, that's probably the best bet to make, like by a mile. If they are plus money to win their division and seeing that their division hardly improved that much, yeah, I'd probably, I have had extra money. I'm doing that.
Yep. Tampa's also plus 100 for that same bet. The Niners are plus 160 to win the division, as you can see on our graphic. A bet that I think is sneaky is the Arizona Cardinals at plus 400. I thought they really got better down the stretch of the season. Trey McBride is going to score more touchdowns this year. Kyler Murray is kind of like, I don't want to say on the hot seat, but he's on his improvement mode. He's got it all. He's got the contract. He has everything but the playoff wins, the Super Bowl championship, the MVP. Like this team is slowly getting better, slowly but surely. Jonathan Gannon, I think, is a really solid coach. They just got to put it together. They're plus 400 to win the division. I don't know the bet as far as making the playoffs, but I imagine it's plus money if they're plus 400 to win their division. I'd be super curious in an Arizona Cardinals bet to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think you're 100% right about it's a prove year for Kyle Murray because like he was a draft class
As
right
high as I was on the Rams, and like how high I am on Sam Darnold and the Seahawks.
Because look at all the other quarterbacks younger than him that have more success than him already. Like,
yeah,
and
he was
also
drafted in 2019. I mean, like the career is closer to the midpoint than it was the beginning.
I've had a Sam Darnold failed and resurged since then, and he was drafted just the literal year before Kyler Murray.
Baker
And
Mayfield,
so far,
same boat.
exactly. Like both of those guys had a resurgence in career at different places. And now, like Kyler Murray's at the same space in the same place, and yet hasn't had that much success. While everybody else has gotten better, but him.
I think that this team, it's a team to watch. He's got two really good weapons with Trey McBride. He's got Marvin Harrison Jr., who I thought underachieved a little bit in his rookie year. I don't think he was as great as everybody kind of expected him to be. And then they have an awesome run attack with James Conner, and I am going to assume that Trey Benson is going to get a little more looks in his second year. So with all that combined, Paris Johnson at the left tackle, Budda Baker is still an Arizona Cardinal. They just paid out the butt for Devon. I think it was Devondre Sweat, Josh Sweat, which one of those guys. Josh Sweat. They have another edge rusher that I'm blanking on his name. Arizona Cardinals.
It's not Chandler Jones. He's been removed.
Yeah, he's been retired and on the crazy train. Jalen Thompson, I really like. Zaven Collins, who I was thinking of. Calais Campbell's still there. Walter Nolan, I really liked coming out of college. I think that
Calais Campbell just went back. He was just in Miami, and then he went back to the Cardinals. Yeah,
this is a sneaky team. Look out for bets that have them to make the playoffs. I think that's my sleeper team for the year, the Arizona Cardinals.